Hello, fellow brawlers. So recently I was at Comic-Con and with the Brawl Stars team, and I hosted a developer Q&A at Comic-Con where I used questions from you guys as well as audience questions that the developers took times to actually answer. So today we're going to be going over their answers. And since this was a Comic-Con exclusive, I can't show you the entire panel, but I'm going to cut down pretty much everything so that you get all the answers either way. In case you're not aware of who the panelists were, first up we got Drew. He's a community manager for Brawl Stars. He is in Brawl Talk very frequently, and he's actually been working at Supercell for almost 8 years. And before Brawl Stars, he was actually working on Clash Royale. Now, interestingly enough, he also writes all of the text that you see in Brawl Stars, plus scripts for various animations and Brawl Talks and stuff like that. Our next panelist was actually Fernanda. She is the IP holder. She's the art director for Brawl Stars. In other words, she creates the Brawlers and is known as the mother of Brawlers, right? She comes up with the visual concepts and the creation of the Brawlers and the Star Park universe from start to finish. And she also oversees all visual elements of Brawl Stars, from their ads to animations and merch. She is a fantastic panelist because she gets to talk a lot about the Star Park lore and stuff. Gonzalo is our third panelist. He is a UI or UX designer for Brawl Stars. So he actually creates a lot of the stuff in game when it comes to like the pins, the sprays, the icons, the buttons that we're tapping and stuff like that. And he's also helped design major features like ranked, as well as events such as last year's SpongeBob collaboration. So a fantastic group of panelists. We'll go over their questions, but before we do that, the panel actually started off with a sneak peek of one of the newest brawlers coming to the game, Ziggy. Important thing to note about Ziggy is that all of this is subject to change, okay? He is part of the Illusion Wizards trio, the Illusion Wizards trio. His name was actually originally Rox. Now, he kind of like blends glam and glory of hard rock with the mystique of ancient sorcery. Now, he's actually in the wizard trio at Medieval Manor, which is, he's not in Lumi and Draco's trio. I understand why people would think that he is. What they actually mentioned during this panel was that each part of Star Park has 3 trios that are in charge of different attractions, or typically are part of attractions. And that's actually why you have some trios that are very similar to each other, even when they are actually in a different trio. So yes, the Illusion Wizards are all about like hard rock and metal and like ancient sorcery and stuff like that. Now for his attack, lightning comes out of this plasma ball to like strike a target location after a short delay. And I believe that this is going to be essentially like a new thrower, like a thrower attack, since the lightning goes straight up and then straight down. We're gonna have to wait until we actually see some gameplay. Obviously, we didn't have any gameplay to see, but just based off of these descriptions and what Fernanda talked about, that's what I think is gonna be. And then for his super, he throws a plasma ball, creating a storm in a dome that deals AoE damage and stuns enemies inside of it. Now, there were a lot of things that they talked about when it comes to potentially the future of Brawl Stars. Now, the rest of this video is the actual panel, and I wish that I could, honestly, I didn't even get through half of the questions that I wanted to ask them. The time went by so fast, but I think you're really going to enjoy this, and I really appreciate Supercell and Comic-Con for allowing me to share this with you guys. So when you're creating Brawlers, and you kind of touched on this a little bit, do you start with gameplay mechanics that you're looking for, or are you looking to fill a spot when it comes like, or do you go with the Brawler personalities? Like what comes first, character or gameplay?
Gameplay first, always. Okay. So right now we usually work with a set of mechanics, something that we are aiming to add in the game, and a second is always a theme. So theme are basically like the different areas that we have at Star Park, and we see which one is missing a new brawler, like which three would be interesting to have, or even like new themes that we never explored yet. So we usually use those 2 things as a base to start. And right now we are trying a new process, trying to make more brainstorms with the whole team, so everybody like came up with cool ideas, knowing the base mechanic and the theme. And like usually I sit with the concept artist, and then we have like a brainstorm trying to feed like what kind of story would be cool for this character, if this is related to Star Park. We always try to think about the characters as a Star Park employee. So all the lore, like the reasons why they fight, how we justify their skills, how they look like, the base story, the relationships, everything's thinking about, okay, this guy works at Star Park, so it has to be like real for this universe, and then we can move along to make sense with the game. And it's a pretty cool, fun process because everybody's part of that, and like ideas can come literally from everyone, and it's always like nice to see the excitement on the team and how we can build up to make the character more interesting.
You mentioned that these brawlers that you're creating are employees of Star Park. Can you tell us a little bit about like what that means? Like what where are these brawlers fighting and why?
Yeah, so just a little bit of lore for those who doesn't know about that. Like Star Park has this mystery behind that the island, like the park was built on top of an island, and in the center we have those purple gems. And those gems, they affect the brawlers or the visitors or anyone at the park in a way that how they express themselves, what they think, and what they actually do daily, those things will, at some point, end up being some kind of skills for those brawlers. That's why it's so important, like who they are, how they look like. Even each area of the park that they are like representing, this is also something that we think about the mechanics. So once they are in contact with those purple gems, they get affected and they ended up developing skills, but only inside the park. And those, because of the gems, these allow them to fight with each other, but not die or get hurt. Maybe get hurt, yes, but not dying.
Lots of hurt.
Yeah, lots of hurt. And no one knows what happens the day that they leave the island or they leave the park. Like,
If you can leave.
if you can,
Yeah.
if you want.
Would you ever want to leave?
Yeah, because it's so fun.
It's so fun. Star
I
Park's
don't
the
want to
best.
leave.
There's a lot of awesome brawlers in the game. I believe we're up to 94 as of either today or next week, something like that. Anyway, we're getting close to 100 brawlers. Is there going to be something special about the 100th brawler?
The way we work, we don't really plan that far ahead, so
It's going to be a surprise for us.
yeah, exactly.
That's
so
the beauty.
yeah, we'll do like 96, 97, 98 first, and then we'll think about 100. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're getting there. I feel like right now we are currently working on 3 brawlers, so probably pretty close to 100 brawlers.
So there are 3 brawlers in the pipeline right now then.
Yes.
Is that a typical number, or do you have more or less brawlers in a pipeline in any given moment?
It's usually like 2 brawlers, and currently like the main idea we try to close in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks, 2 brawlers. But right now, since we are getting more help to create brawlers, we are trying to get ahead and adding like 1, like this update 1, maybe the next update we can try to do 4, and we go like that. But we never like plan super far ahead with characters.
I'm just going to go straight up and ask it. Can you share anything about the next Brawl Stars update?
Yeah, I think the main thing is that we are actually going to have a collab next update. I can't reveal what it is just yet, but yeah, I know we've said that we were going to do some more this year, and then they haven't materialized. But we've got yeah, this next one's going to be a big one.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that actually brings up an important question, because back in April, the April update was supposed to have a really big collab, and then it fell through at the last minute. Can you guys tell us what that collab was or what happened, or are they coming back? Like,
Well, as you know, like in terms of doing big events around the collabs, that's something that is fairly new to us. It was just last year that we started doing that, and as we are doing more of these, we are learning that not every IP is managed the same way, and also that also means that the approval times might be different from one IP holder to another. So that's what led to us needing to change the plans for April. But yeah, it's planned to come at some point.
so I guess a question that I have for you is, like, where do you see Brawl Stars being in 10 years from now? Because there's been a lot of changes. 10 years from now is a long time.
It'd be awesome to have like a Brawl Stars comic book, movie, other games with our IP, like to keep expanding the IP or the universe of Brawl.
Yeah, I think it would be like both answers, plus like I wish for Brawl like to be exactly what all the IPs that I love so much since I was a child, like still thriving, being so meaningful even nowadays, like everything about Warner Bros. And Bugs Bunny, like having all the brawlers like being seen as this thing that kind of raised this next generation, and being loved by them like forever. I feel like that's what I want. Plus a Star Park for real, like as big as Disneyland, like
A theme park for Brawl Stars.
yeah, all kinds of toys, like
Yeah.
that's what I want, like everything.
How old is Janet actually?
Damn, but before I really want to know why people want to know that. Just,
We're going to pretend it's because they really care about Janet.
Janet is 16 years old.
Okay, thank you. We're going to move on. Are Jay Young and Melody related?
No.
Yeah, no,
No.
they were.
Okay, they are not related.
Yeah.
Are they in the same trio?
They're the same trio.
Okay, same trio.
It was planned that he was going to be her uncle, but then Fernando was like, nah.
Okay, so not related.
Too
obvious.
Not related.
Too obvious.
Okay, cool. Who is Jesse's father?
It's a pretty tough guy, right? I heard that he's
Yeah,
quite,
I heard he's like quite strong.
how do you say, like strong,
Yeah,
tough,
muscly,
has tattoos.
quite bullish in character.
Okay. That is all I needed to know. Thank you. I'm moving on. I'm so excited I put that question in there. How does Lumi feel about Draco?
They have something going on there, but Lumi is more like an introspective character. No, she's a Finnish person.
She's finished.
More like she's showing affection on her own way, but she's kind of into him as well.
Is Colt related with Belle and Sam?
Yes.
Both of them or
Very
just
funny.
Belle?
Yes.
Okay.
No, yeah. They are
Okay.
kind of a family. And
Kind
I
of.
like to think that they are the first family of Star Park. Like
First
their-
family of Star Park.
the
Do
relationship
they have
with
anything to
Star
do with the founders of Star Park?
Yes.
Are they the founders of Star Park? Okay. Sorry.
There's some-
I have to ask these specific questions. I'm nerding
see
out
you
over
get
here.
excited.
I know, I'm really excited. So, next question. Are Charlie and Bo an official couple now that they have had the first kiss in Brawl Stars?
No, it was just a one-time thing. I think Bo's
wing, yeah.
Bo's still a bit obsessed, but yeah, Charlie. You know.
Okay. How did Stu and become Bonnie's and Janet's adopted father?
Oh, he found them. Like both the sisters, they were lost at the park, and they found each other. And since Bonnie is kind of suicidal kind of kid, like throwing himself and trying to do
Not
stunts,
purposefully. She's just really.
Yeah,
she
she
has-
just wanted to have fun, and he was like, "Yeah, maybe this kid needs someone who can
Some
like,
guidance,
teach him
yeah.
properly." And he decided to adopt them, and now they're a happy family.
That's fantastic. Are Colt and Shelly friends with Spike? Or is. Okay.
They are.
Is Spike a good guy or a bad guy?
Depends.
Question.
Depends on like your own morals, you know.
Yeah.
Like, if you
Your own
think about-
morals.
Depends your definition of bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah, what's bad for you?
Spoken like a true Star Park employee.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. People really want to know more about each brawler. They want to know specific things like their birthdays, their potential relationships that they have with other people, favorite foods, preferences, dislikes. I mean, this is what fandom is all about, is knowing these things. But we don't see any of that within the game. And I'm curious if you guys have any plans to put that into the game in some way so that the community can know these things and then can stop asking you how old Janet is.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, exactly. I think like well, with the last update where we actually made that animation we showed at the beginning, that's kind of like our way of saying like, hey, we've put Star Park like in the game properly now. Like, so the trophy rows that you go through is you're going through Star Park in the different areas, and I think like that's our kind of commitment to adding more lore into the game, and that's somewhere we really want to go, is like just to like flesh out this universe. And it's so cool. We have all this information, like we have like a 300-page Bible of everything that like is
I have
like
a copy?
every character. No.
It's funny because
Yeah.
all those things, like we always think about them, like the relationship, age, how they ended up at Star Park. But I feel like even though we were planning to add more in the game, it's such a like limited space, even because of the game itself, right? We don't have much space for lore, but we are for sure working on different medias to deliver more
Okay.
lore.
With the newly added Star Park, are each of the areas for the trios, or are they like for each groups? So is it just like for the Brawlywood, is it just the Brawlywood trio, or is it also like all of the Brawlywood characters?
So Brawlywood, that's the main area, but it's also the same area for Lola, Gray, and Miko, and they are dedicated to this like golden era of cinema. But we also have the Toons Studio. Sorry, missed it.
Star Toon Studio.
Star Toon Studio. Thank you, my friend. And
Copy
the
guy.
the Turbo Theater. So we have 3 different trios, all part of Brawlywood.
Each area is meant to have 3 trios in it, right?
Yes.
So yeah.
Ooh, trios within trios.
Yeah. So yeah, each trio kind of, if you think about the park, each trio works in a different attraction.
Is there any plans for like maybe an art book to be released, a comic, a show, even just a one-shot, you know, any more? Because I know you guys' focus is on the game, which it should be, but what if I want to know more about just the outside lore and I want to view Brawl Stars, the world of Brawl Stars, and a whole other medium?
Yeah, we're like in terms of like even like a movie or something like that, we're like actively looking for people to work with because we really want to make something like as big as that, like actually actively looking for people to work with to develop this sort of content. So yeah, definitely. I think like, yeah, just keep your eyes out for stuff.
Around a year ago, there was a camera in-game that gave us access to the security room in Star Park. This gave us a lot of like insight about the lore and all of that. Will we get more in-game features like this in the future?
Yeah, we should keep doing those things. And then maybe later on make it more accessible to the game, like the new trophy road that is now the park.
Yeah, we've been planning like a lot of like new features. Like since this is going to be related to lore, it's something that we have to be a bit more thoughtful with. But we for sure want to have something in game, not even the Star Road, that we can add more lore from time to time. Yeah.
Do you guys think you will ever add back masteries to the game?
Going for the spicy question.
Yeah, nice one.
Spicy,
Thanks. I'll let Gon take that one. No, joking. I don't think we'll be adding masteries back because with the records feature, we were kind of thinking like really long term. It's one of those features where it's like we can add lots to them and keep adding more and more and more. And I think with I know everyone says that they love masteries, which they did, but a lot of people didn't like interact with it as much as we thought. So for us on our side, it was kind of like a failed feature, which is why we needed to reboot it. And maybe we didn't do it in the right way with records, but we are trying to like actively like listen to community feedback and bring that into the game because I know there's a lot of people who are not happy with the change. So yeah.
Is there a plan to add another temporary brawler like Buzz Lightyear, or?
Yeah, I don't think so, just because I know that some players don't like temporary content. We actually said we would move away from like so much temporary content, and I think with Buzz especially, it was I think it's kind of hard to like make a temporary brawler that's not OP because it's kind of you want to put it in. It's only in there for a limited time. You want it to be good and playable, and if we kind of release a boring brawler, then it's a bit of a letdown. But yeah, I think we're gonna. And also we put like loads of dev time into Buzz, who had then just disappeared, and it's kind of like we want to put that dev time into like content that can like be enjoyed for a longer period of time.
Who is the strongest brawler in terms of lore, and how much does Colette like them?
Ooh, that's a cool question. Yeah, maybe it is Spike because he's like he's so mysterious, and I think that also ties into why Colette loves him so much.
Yeah, we don't know his full potential.
Yeah, exactly. He might be the Jean Grey of a Star Park. You never know, but yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question.
Does Brawl Stars ever have a game plan to add voice chat into ranked?
Yeah, I think like we definitely want to add voice chat in a way, but it's so I think ranked is the worst place to put it. Keeping the players safe and kind of like making sure that that everybody has an enjoyable online experience, but. I think it's definitely something we want to look into. Yeah, it's definitely something that's on our minds because I think it's so much better when you're talking with people over voice chat.
What's your most hated brawler?
Oh, that's a great question. Oh, wow.
Well, I can go first.
Yeah, please.
when we were designing the ranked feature, for me, being able to ban Dynamite forever, it was like my main motivation to put that ban button there because I especially hate like the stunning gadget for Dynamite.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my most hated brawler.
I think my answer is silly because I remember like every time that I had to draw brawlers fighting someone just to exemplify their skills, I always used to draw Edgar being killed in different forms. So I would go with Edgar. Plus everything else, like super OP and everything.
Yeah, I also think Edgar, because every time I have an Edgar on my team, they just stand around and don't do anything. And then when they do, I actually played a game this morning where they had like 15 gems and then they jumped into the enemy side of the map and I was like, classic Edgar. But yeah, sorry to any Edgar mains.
Can you nerf Ali's enraged gadget?
Yes, actually, we keep bothering our game designer, Adrian, to...
Yeah, I'm gonna ping Adrian right away.
Thank you for asking the important questions. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. On my channel, I cover all sorts of Brawl news and stuff like that. And Supercell usually gives me some good stuff so I can make some sneak peeks for you guys as well. If you're new to my channel, make sure you guys subscribe and check out one of my awesome videos right here. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.